Folks of the weather, thank you for tuning in to this edition of State of the Weather Address, Thanksgiving Week edition. Now, if you're a snowstorm lover, you're probably going to love this upcoming winter weather pattern. We got a snowstorm trolley lining up across the United States from this week into the next potentially few weeks. So I'm going to talk about that in this episode. I'm also going to talk about a couple of forecasting techniques you can use, including something I call the model sanity test. So we're going to go over that as well. And this is for people looking for real weather data, the stuff we use behind the scenes, not the hypey, dumbed down stuff you'd see on the media. So we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it simple. So let's get into this episode of State of the Weather Address. Now, we just had a snowstorm go through the central and northern United States, kind of like that. That's what this wave is out here right now. We had a blizzard out in Minnesota and parts of the Dakotas. It was a very impressive snowstorm. That's where this wave is right now. Okay, it's exiting the northeastern United States. We got another one coming in that's going to be bringing rain and precipitation through much of the central and northern U.S. Again, potentially some snow during the middle of the week. Now, what you're about to see here is a slew of these troughs dig into the western United States. And that's a good signal for snowstorm activity, especially in the central and eastern U.S., as you're about to see here. We already have one that exited, and we got another one coming, and maybe even a few more after this. So a very active storm pattern. Now you want to see these troughs kind of close off like this. You see the circles there? That's closed off. There is no circles over here. It's just these little lines. These height lines that don't close off. When you get them to close off, that's a good sign you got a cut-off low, and those are typically good snowstorm producers. So just look for that. So this is system number 1. I'm going to number these because we have a lot of them coming on shore. This is system number 2 out here in the western U.S. This is going to track up, as you're about to see, into the central and northern plains. By Tuesday. So here it comes. It starts to cut off here. So we got a kind of a moderate storm system, maybe kind of a weak storm system. Nothing crazy here. But there could be precipitation and some snow in the northern and central plains. Maybe some freezing precipitation as well. Especially Minnesota. So this is a Tuesday. We'll fast forward it. Another disturbance. This is system number 3 right here in this area. Some flurries and maybe some sprinkles. Nothing crazy with this. It's kind of just a small little blip. It's a small disturbance, nothing crazy. But this comes on Friday, November 25th. We'll fast forward it even more here. This is Sunday on November 28th. This system looks a little bit more impressive. Still not, anything crazy. Kind of a positive tilt, not really cut off or anything. But the GFS has actually been off and on with this system on Sunday, November 28th. That's actually Monday, but Sunday night into Monday. For this area in the green here, this kind of area right here could be experiencing some snow, maybe some rain out here. It's been off and on. One model, it shows a big snowstorm out here. The other run, it'll show nothing. And then again, it'll show it. So it's been kind of off and on. I wouldn't trust the likelihood of a snowstorm on this upcoming Sunday quite yet. There's still a lot of uncertainty, but it's been showing that, and it's been kind of messing with this second system out here. So we'll see how that, we'll see how that plays out. But okay, so this is system number 4, I believe, right? Yeah, system number 4. System number 5 is now out here. This one's definitely one to watch because multiple models have been showing this, including the European, and it's been pretty consistent. Here comes system number 5. Very impressive storm system coming out. On this particular run, it's not as great, but you can see a nice jet streak right here. It's kind of trying to cut off here. It's, some of those runs will show it cut off. The European does. And it shows a nice, impressive snowstorm for these central plains into the Midwest. Okay, so that is system number 5. That is next Thursday, next Wednesday, next Thursday. Okay, next week on around December 1st. We're going to fast forward it even more. And this one is very impressive. System number 6 is coming onshore around, well, it's going to come into the plains in the Midwest around December 6th, okay, next Tuesday. So we got a nice little belt of flow here. It's actually kind of weakening as it gets onto the plains. As you can see, a lot of this energy kind of exited. Watch how that happens here. You can see there's a lot of energy here, but it kind of spills out, and there's not as much behind it, so we'll have to watch on that. Nonetheless, it's cut off here. It's very impressive. We could be dealing with another good system around the 6th. And then system number 7 is making its way onto the western U.S. out here in the western U.S., and that probably will do the same thing. This pattern almost looks like 2009 or something for the central U.S. and Midwest out here. There'll be some activity out in the northeastern U.S., the interior northeastern U.S., and in the Great Lakes. There's going to probably be a lot of lake effect snow here. This looks just like a crazy progressive pattern, 7 systems potentially. This will change a lot, but a very active pattern. So let's look at the precipitation real quick and see how the precipitation is going to evolve. Alrighty, this is currently right now. System number 1 is out here. Nice, powerful, low pressure system. Front's kind of like way out here. So this is an occluded system. We got plenty of snow behind it. It's a very powerful system that moved through the plains and the Midwest. Still out there causing trouble. System number 2 is gaining strength out here in the desert Southwest. It's not overly impressive and probably won't be, but we'll fast forward it into Tuesday and Wednesday here. You can see it really kind of gains strength in the plains. Here it is right here. Mostly just kind of rain. The 540 line, this is the freezing line. Wherever you see that 540, typically along and north of that, there's going to be snow. There is some south of here. So, you know, this is kind of the average column temperature. So there still could be snow ahead of it and behind it. It's not always accurate, but it is showing snow for Minnesota and the northern plains. It's probably going to be kind of a wet, mixy snow. Probably not a lot of accumulation, but it is a lot of precipitation here. And again, this will continue to move into the Midwest and into the Northeast. Just kind of a wet, mixy precipitation at best, with maybe some light accumulations. System number 3, this comes Friday, is right here. It's just been kind of a little bit of a clipper, nothing overly impressive. Some light snow showers and some rain maybe mixed in as well. That'll continue to push into the Great Lakes region. 540 line's actually down here, so that actually might be more snow up there than what it's showing, but we'll have to watch that. Could be some lake effect precipitation on Friday, Saturday. So let's continue. This is where it gets interesting. This is system number 4 coming on Sunday. You can just see it blows up out of nowhere. Boom, right there into the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley region. And it's actually a pretty deep low pressure system, 984 right there. This is system number 4. This comes next Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, November 28th, November 29th. This is the system that the GFS has been flip-flopping on. Right now, it doesn't show an overly impressive snowstorm. Last couple runs, it's been showing a big, powerful snowstorm for Nebraska and Iowa, where as much as like 6 to 10 inches were falling. But right now, it doesn't show that. It actually blows it up, really gains strength just east of that area. And it does actually wrap some cold air behind this. So we'll see if that happens or not. It looks very kind of linear, and that's not what you want to see for snowstorms. You want to really see that comma head appearance, kind of like that, okay, for snow, and you get snow on the backside. But that's not what it's showing right now. It's been kind of flip-flopping with that idea. But nonetheless, I think there's some good certainty that there's going to be a storm system for either the central U.S. or the Midwest come Sunday. Most likely rain, but there could be some snow in there as well. So that's system number 4. All right, so that system starts to exit out. It actually kind of re-strengthens here, so that'll be something to watch. But there's really not a lot of cold air to work with, so it's probably going to be rain. Sometimes what will happen is these first initial systems that move through can kind of set up the environment for these systems to have more snow and cold air. See, it brings a little area of cold air kind of south. So this next system is probably going to have more cold air to work with. We're also getting further into winter. So watch what happens here. This is the one to watch. This is December 1st. Okay, Thursday, December 1st. A powerful low pressure system out in the central U.S. right here, a KC low, kind of tracks like this. So this is a classic snowstorm kind of for this area right here. And this is actually, the circled area right here is actually the area that the GFS just keeps pegging time after time. Almost looks like a 2009 track, at least for the central part of the U.S. And it shows plenty of snow for this area right here in Nebraska. So again, I wouldn't get too much into detail here, but it does at least show something kind of interesting around the first. So let's fast forward that. That kind of dies out as it gets into the Great Lakes region, but it will probably produce some snow, eventually some lake effect snow. And then we got our next system coming around December 6th. And this one's another really impressive system. Tracks out in a similar area, kind of out here. It's a little bit stronger further east. Got a little belt of precipitation, and then some snow along that, kind of in this area right here. It has some very heavy snow. So that area has a lot of cold air to work with as well. And then we got another system out here, right here, and that's probably going to do another similar track. So again, this is very far out, but the models have been very consistent, a very progressive pattern. You can just see boom, 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 and then eventually another one. So I would say that precipitation-wise, this area of the country is going to have well above average precipitation right here. And it's actually going to be nice for the desert Southwest. That there might be some drought relief down there. And then maybe some above average snowfall in this area. It's looking very, very likely that that's going to happen right now. So let's look at the European model. What does it say? All right, here's the European computer model. It shows our first system out here, very powerful system. Another one's going to strengthen here. That's system number 2. It tracks in, kind of agrees with the GFS. Not overly strong, a little bit weak, but it does track through. And then our next system, Thursday, kind of moves through. It's a very small disturbance, not going to really show up here much. All right, so this is next week, next Sunday. The system on Sunday on the Euro is actually more impressive. It tracks this low pressure system up from the Central Plains into the Chicago area, and it actually looks a little bit more impressive. Look at that right there. Pretty powerful. So there could be, if the Euro's right, a pretty strong storm system, maybe a snowstorm for the northern plains here. So we'll have to watch that. The Euro's a little more impressive than the GFS is on that, but we'll see what happens. Then we'll fast forward it into next week, this is the 1st of December. This is the farthest the Euro is going to go out. You got another system developing right here. So the European computer model at least shows some agreement with the GFS with these first few systems that move through, but the farthest it goes out is December 1st. So that is the European computer model. Now let's check to see how sane the GFS, how confident it is. And this is called the spaghetti charts. These things are, they measure the confidence of the model. So if they're really close together like that, that usually means it's more confident. If they're farther apart, that means it's less confident usually. This measures, right now it's measuring, I believe, 1,004 millibar lines and 1,044 millibar lines. So it's little areas of low pressure. Right here is a little area of low pressure. So when they're close together, that means, hey, there's probably a low pressure right here. But when they spread apart, that means it's less accurate. So they've run the GFS multiple times with different conditions. But we'll watch it go forward. This is, I believe, Tuesday. There's some good confidence that there's going to be a low pressure system in Kansas. It dies out. It's been showing that. You know, when the lines disappear, probably not going to be that strong. It's going to be higher than 1,004 millibars. So we'll fast forward it. And our next system on this is next Sunday, you can see there's a lot less confidence in the model here. It's all over the place. But you can maybe say, oh, it's generally there's something over here in the central U.S. So you can at least, say with confidence, there's probably going to be some type of disturbance that moves through the central U.S. That's what that's saying. And then after that, it gets really messy. And so maybe another disturbance there around the 240-hour mark. You can kind of see it in this area, kind of scoot through there. But that's why you just don't want to look too far past 240 hours. Now, that being said, we went over the area past 240 hours out. That's because the models have actually been consistent, and multiple models have been consistent with showing an active pattern. And when you have an active pattern, when you have a deep low pressure systems, like deep troughs like that, and when multiple models show it, sometimes I'll put a little bit more confidence in the forecast long range. But if it's just a little tiny trough, a little tiny disturbance, and it's on every other run of the model or only a couple runs and maybe only one model shows it, I don't put too much confidence in it. I only do if it's there's an exclamation mark on it. So I think that being said, with the models and with just kind of how the general ocean patterns and other things are setting up, it does look like we're to be entering a very active period, and it's already started, but it's going to continue through the first week or two of December, and we're going to have a lot more cold air to work with and probably plenty of snow for the central and Midwest area, maybe even the interior northeastern United States. All right, guys, with all that being said, if you want more of these weather forecasting videos and want to further your weather super forecasting skills and want some weather forecasting tutorials, go ahead and click that big old subscribe button here in the middle. I'll be releasing plenty more of these videos. And after you're done with that, if you want my winter forecast, my 80-page winter forecast with regional breakdowns, city breakdowns, precip and snowfall maps, I think it's the biggest, most detailed winter forecast out there, but it is a very simple read. Go ahead and click the link below this video. I will just enter your email and I will send it right off to you, okay? It's going to be an awesome winter forecast for you. It's very simple, but it's also very detailed. You're going to get a lot out of it. So go ahead and enter your email and I'll send it right off right away. And after you're done with those two things, go ahead and follow me on Facebook. I'm actually going to be doing some forecasting live streaming during major hazardous weather events, maybe this winter storm. And it'll be just kind of a fun hangout session. I'll kind of go over some of the current live weather events happening, and I will do some Q&A and stuff. So if you have some questions, it's live streaming, so you can just comment, and I will answer some questions. Maybe do some loosely organized forecasting tutorials as well on that as well. So go ahead and subscribe, then enter your email, get your winter forecast, and then follow me on Facebook, and I'll see you soon.